Tart for my name is Kanya Ford, but I do go by Coach K. In addition to being a life coach and a sexuality coach, I am a business coach and mentor, as well as a notary, e-notary, and mobile notary. One of the things that I know about the notary world is it's saturated and empty all at the same time. There are hundreds of thousands of people who get into the industry, and once in, they kind of wait for business to fall in their lap because there's always a family member who says, hey, can you notarize this for me? And so you say, you know what, I should just become a notary. And it's a constitutional right that you have too, to become a notary in your state. And why not? A lot of notaries also work other full-time jobs that may require them to actually have a notary certification in order to notarize at like a bank, if you're in the accounting field, so on and so forth. And so a lot of times you may do this under your normal salary, and thus you're not able to recoup any additional fees to maybe pay for your supplies. So how do you make the notary business a financial success for yourself? The first thing is you want to make sure that you're going into the notary business on purpose. And so for the rest of this, I am going to share my screen so we can see some of the worksheets that I use just in general business coaching and mentoring that can also be applied to the notary sector. So I'm pulling that up as we speak. So I'm going to start here, here, and here. All right. So any business that you go into, it is always important to understand the pieces of the business that are required to even act as a business. Because when you become a notary and you kind of leave the business side out, it becomes a hobby. And thus, when you sit and you think about it, I'm not making any money from this. I'm not doing, any notarizations outside of just general family. And why? Well, it's because you're probably thinking of your business as not a business. So get your notary business minded. Starting with this business basics checklist. If you want your notary to have a federal employee identification number, it is absolutely free through the IRS. If you go to a website and it is saying, please pay for this, back out of that website, and you should go to irs.gov. Or if you have a tax professional that you work with, you can always inquire with them. But EIN numbers are absolutely free. If you're not looking to, incorporate, create LLC or anything as far as your business goes, then it is okay to maybe forego the EIN. However, I strongly suggest that you do. Having a website domain, if you're going to create your business and you want to get business in, having a website is probably beneficial just to display the types of notarizations that you do and to let people know who you are. Because at the end of the day, we do business with people, not just with businesses. If you don't want to pay for a full-blown website, there are options for one-page websites. There are also options through different email channels that you can just have a landing page. With just a landing page, you can display what it is that you offer, who you are, and who you serve. They click on that or add themselves to your email list. You have their information, and then you can stay in constant contact with this person via email. The Duns and Bradstreet number, I always throw that up there. Really not super vital for this particular business, but definitely something you can look into. Is absolutely free. If you get to a portion where it says pay for something, just back to the free portion, and that's all you need. So we spoke a little bit earlier about the business entity. If you're looking to have this as a full-blown business, say you want to be a signing agent or you want to have a notary service with other notaries under you, then I do suggest that you look into speaking to a tax professional, of course, which is the best business for you to have, whether it be LLC, sole proprietorship, S Corp, or etc. The next thing you want to know is, what is your business service mode? How do you want to service your clients? Do you just want to be virtual, where you do e-notarizations virtually? Do you want to just be mobile, where you just meet people at different places or at their home of business or at other office spaces? Or do you want to rent your own office space or purchase your own building and run your business from that? The next thing you want to do is have a business bank account. Having a business bank account is important for several reasons. Number one, it tracks for you what you're making or losing in your business. The next thing is, if you ever want to expand, grow your business, or add a branch arm to it, excuse me, with a business bank account, you're more likely to be given loans or grants through larger institutions. Business line of credit, that's something that you can always utilize should you need it once you have your business bank account, depending on how many years in business and what you may need it for. For some people who go into the signing agency portion, they may need about $1,600 to $2,500 worth of startup costs or supplies. Everyone doesn't have that laying around. You may be able to get a small loan once you get your business bank account. Sometimes if you have a personal bank account, they may utilize that if your business bank account has not been around long enough, but having that business line of credit is going to be helpful for you. Your support system. Of all of the things on here, your support system is going to be one of the most important pieces that you cultivate on purpose, because these are the people that are going to be in your corner. These are the people that's going to say, hey, you're hemorrhaging funds because you're doing XYZ. Maybe you should look into hire an accountant. Maybe you should not rent this building and just do it mobily. So those people that can be your accountability partner, your support system, that's a coach, family members, accountability partners, people that you work with, etc. Having a business telephone line. Having a business telephone line is important because you don't want your telephone ringing all times of the night. Once your business takes off and it starts booming, you may get a call because, say, you are an e-notary and you're on the East Coast, but you have a client that is calling you from the West Coast. That's a 2 to 3 hour time difference most of the time. And so if you have that business line, you're also able to turn your business off. You're not going to fry yourself out because you're 24 hours, 7 days a week business mode. It is also more professional to have a business line. So you know if that phone is ringing, that you would answer it completely differently than you would answer your personal line. Setting up a business email account service is something that you want to do so that you can keep your email streamlined and separate. It also gives a professional appearance to your potential customers and your current customers and client base. Finding your industry networking communities. That's going to be key. I know it's really easy to say, hey, I want to just find all the notary networks that I can get with and sit there. But that's not what's going to truly be your bread and butter. The networking communities for a notary to go into or be connected with would be your local business leagues, some of your nonprofits, the banking communities, the mortgage communities. Those people that are always searching for you is where you want to be. And you find those networking communities. Nowadays, you can find them right on Facebook. They have different groups. You can look at your local chamber of commerce and see where those networks are. You can even go on Eventbrite and see if there are any networking opportunities or events that are coming up, a lot of them are free. Show up and let people know who you are, you're in that area, and how you can service them. The next thing you want to do is just look into your social media platforms. This is not for everyone, but it is a good suggestion because this is a way for you to be seen in front of your potential audience. And we're going to talk about that potential audience in just a few moments. And then you want to have a payment processing system. How horrible would it be if you have someone who wants to have you be their signing agent and they want to pay you $300 and you don't have a way to accept the funds? That would be a shame. You say, oh, I just figured everyone would send me cash. You know, you could be doing business with a company that only deals in wire transfers or only deals in electronic payment forms. So you want to have a payment processing system. That can be through your bank, where your business bank is, or a third party such as Square, PayPal, etc. And then you want to have a scheduling or calendar system so that you can keep up with your clients and potential clients, whether it be a quick call to find out what they need from you, or the actual date of the signing itself, so that you can have a copy of that calendar date as well as that potential client, so you're both on the same page. So the rest of these squares and lines I left blank because as you get further into your business or as you talk to your support system, they may give you more things that you should add to your business basics checklist. So always best to start with the basics and build from there. So utilizing this form, you would go through and check off as you do the different things, add to it as you need to. The next thing that we're going to talk about is your why. This may seem silly when it comes to notarizations, but it's actually an important piece of a successful notary business. Why are you going into the notary business? Why do you want to become a notary? That's going to be helpful when it comes to how successful you are down the line. The reason why this is designed the way it is because answering all of the small questions in the little red bubbles will lead you to your actual why. Many times, and it could be something as simple as, I just want to make money. That's great. Or it could be as in-depth as, you know, when I was 25 and my grandmother she was in a hospice care, and we had to get all of these papers signed and notarized, and we had to do it in 10 hours, and we couldn't find anyone. And my grandma was worried. She's already sickly, and she was worried about getting these things notarized. And I remember it was somebody who came in and they were a notary and they signed these papers and, you know, blah, blah. And so that's something that touched them. So now you could maybe the notary that goes around to various nursing home or hospice care facilities to see if there are any persons that may need notarizations to take the stress off. That's an absolute why. Can your why change? It sure can. Will it change? More than likely it will, the further and longer that you're in business. Keeping your why the exact same will keep you stagnant in your business most times. It doesn't need to change every year. It doesn't need to change every 3 years. There's no set time on your why, but knowing your why will help you to be more connected with your business and to make it more of a success. Your avatar, what this is all about. This is a completely blank slate. And here's the thing. You may be thinking, you know, I'm a notary, I service everyone. Well, just in the last, 10 minutes or so, I named a couple of scenarios of where a notary would be needed and how they would be needed. Being able to create your avatar or your ideal client will help you to cater your business to be well equipped to service them. It will help you to not feel like you're all over the place, that you don't have the proper supplies for this thing. Being able to niche down to understand the person or persons that you will be serving in your community is a streamlined way to a full successful notary business. And the reason why this little stick figure is completely blank is because you're going to create this from nothing. You're going to dictate whether this is male or female, where they shop, how old they are, the clothes they wear, where they go and buy their shoes or dog food. It can get as granular as you like, or it can be as general as you like. Keep in mind that the more general or too granular, so if we go to those two extremes, the more difficult it may be for you to be successful. So finding that happy medium is going to be your best bet. I'll just give you an example of my avatar that I created about 4 years ago. Her name is Monica. That's why I have that line at the top, because for every client that I work with, we give them a name. My avatar is Monica. She's between 25 and 45 years old. She works a mid-management level position where she makes about $75,000 per year. She has 2 children. She's in a relationship or married. I haven't decided that for her yet. And she is not sure of who the woman who she should be versus mom and wife or girlfriend. So that's just a quick example of how I built or who I built as my avatar. And so everything that I do in that particular business is geared towards Monica. And so for that, when I put out content or when I put out different questions that are geared to Monica, I know that my ideal client will relate to that, and that's who I will service. Same thing with your notary business. If you're saying that I want to service men and women that are age 65 and above, who are in an assisted living facility, who can still get around, but they may not be as mobile to drive as they would like to be. And so that's who I will service. So me knowing that that's my ideal client, I'm going to go to the places where that client would be. That would be senior homes, that will be adult day centers, that will be some volunteer community places, because a lot of older people who may have retired, they may be in do volunteer work. So those are the places where I would foot traffic. That's where I would share my content, because that's who my avatar is. So once we know that, then we go into solutions, solutions, solutions. As I talked about building that avatar, the example I gave right before that was a problem that I needed to create a solution for. And that's what you want to concentrate on. What is the solution that you are providing to that avatar that you just created? Pretty straightforward. I'm a notary. My solution is to sign this paper. Well, it's a little bit bigger than that. Your solution could be that I'm available from 7 p.m. to midnight on every weekend for walk-ins or for someone to call or to do an electronic or mobile notary. That could be your solution. I'm going to be the solution for the jail system, who may not have a regular notary that's available to show up. And my solution may be I work with local wedding chapels, I'm sorry, that they can contact me every single weekend, any weekend during these times to sign marriage licenses for people who are getting married. So being able to think in that capacity will help you to take that overwhelming, oh my gosh, I help everybody, down to a bite-sized solution. So think about what is the solution that you will solve for the problem that your avatar or ideal client has. All of these pieces are extremely important. And then the last sheet that we're going to talk about is weekly goals. And I'll say this because sometimes we are notaries for years. I think they run every 3 to 4 years, depending on your state. You can make it a monthly goal. This goal could literally be, I want to make $1,000 this month. As long as you can write out and make this a SMART goal. So you were right. My goal for the week of or the month of blank is blank. Is it specific? Yep, I just said I wanted to make $1,000 this month. Is it measurable? Absolutely. I know when I reach $1,000. Is it attainable? It is absolutely attainable because I know I need to do XYZ notaries in order to do it. So I have the time, so I can attain this. Is my goal relevant? I want to make $1,000. That is relevant to the success of my business, because with that $1,000, I can buy a new printer because mine is going out. And the last thing is timeliness. Can you really make $1,000 in 30 or 31 days? Knowing that, 2, 4, 6, 8 of those days are weekends. I believe I can absolutely do that. So being able to set goals will help you, again, to take something that may be too overwhelming of a business and bringing it down into bite-sized chunks. If you start weekly, it's even better, because maybe your weekly goal is, I want to sign a contract to be the signing agent for ABC nursing facilities across the state. Okay, if that's your weekly goal, it is very specific. It is absolutely measurable. Is it attainable? That's questionable, because if there are 1,300 in the state, I'm not sure if you would know that, but you want to ask yourself those questions. If at the end of the week, you've signed contracts with 700 of 1,300, then understand that you have met a part of your goal. You didn't say, I want to sign with all 1,300. So no, we weren't specific on that, but you wanted to be the contracted notary for this company. Having 700 is a good start to getting there, because hey, next week, your weekly goal could be the exact same thing, but this time we'll make it more specific. I want to add 25 or maybe 50 more of these facilities. So you want to create those weekly goals for yourself. I'm going to stop the share and get back on camera here. So you want to be able to set those goals, because you want to be able to know what you're doing. Having a handle on and a control on your business will make a difference in the success of. So just being a fly-by-night notary, I have my equipment, I just ride around with it. And if I hear someone say they need it, then I'll jump and do it. No, you have to be able to put yourself out to do it. The reason why in the beginning I said that this is saturated business as well as an empty business is because it seems like everyone is a notary. But it also seems like there are not enough notaries out here. So that is, working for a bigger company, getting in with a bigger company as a notary may be helpful. Sometimes when you do that, you want to make sure that you pay attention to the contract split. How does it work? Does the company that hired me on, do they get 70% and I get 30%? Is it 64? You want to pay attention to those aspects of getting in the business. How long is my contract for? Am I able to do notarizations outside of this company, or am I only exclusive or non-compete? As a notary or signing agent, you are your own boss. You are your own business. And thus, you want to conduct yourself and work everything as part of your business. So I know we went through those 5 worksheets, and I want to know if you have any questions for me.
No, I think you laid out everything very nicely. The only question I had was for your avatar. So that's the person that you're catering to. That's who you're trying to build your business around. So that would be like your ideal client.
Yes.
Okay.
Your avatar is your ideal client. That is the person that you're going to dedicate. That's going to determine. So when you become a notary, you can, you get your stamp, you do all your, just the basics. But if I know that my avatar is an international client, I probably need to take it a step further and become an e-notary in my state, if that's allowed, right? So those are the things that will help you to figure out what additional equipment you may need, what additional certifications you may need,
right?
How much money you'll need to get started with that. So that avatar means everything to the business, and it also helps you to not feel lost in the sauce.
Right. Yes. No, I definitely agree with you that narrowing it down and pinpointing who you're marketing it towards and all that is very helpful because the notary is such a broad spectrum. You can do a little bit, you can do a lot. So I think that would really help people who are just starting out in the business or established notaries who want to get a little bit more focused on their business.
Absolutely. So literally, without questions that you may have, that's the gist of it, because I'm very basic. I'm very meat and potatoes. I like to give that information, show that visual, and see if anyone has additional questions that may be specific to them. Because the thing is, when we go to different conferences and different speakings, I don't want to overwhelm when, right, for me personally and professionally, having those 5 sheets could truly run your entire business.
Right. Yeah. It'll set you up for a very strong foundation.
Absolutely. And the foundation is what's necessary. Just like any house, if your foundation is firm, as you build on it, you're good to go. Any win, hey, like we just saw, 2020, that was a big win that came in, and anyone whose foundation, even some people who had foundations that were firm, that COVID just knocked it right on over.
Yep.
But with the firm foundation, those who were solid and had a good mixture, they were able to build back up.
Mm-hmm.
If that foundation was a little wonky, a little wavy, we didn't, maybe I didn't have an ideal client. Maybe I didn't have a specific agenda or purpose. I may not know where to start over.
Yes. Yep. I agree with you. All right. Well, thank you for this presentation. I think it will be very helpful for those that do watch it in the future. Appreciate your time and sharing that with us.
No worries at all. And if you ever need me, you can always find me with Business Solutions with the Z LLC. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. If you have any participants that watch this and they have additional questions, definitely tell them to please feel free to reach out. Just mention you guys' name. I'll know exactly who they are, and I will be Johnny on the spot with them.
Did you want to give us like an email address or a website?
Oh, absolutely. So you can always email me info@businesssolutions with a Z LLC.com. The website is businesssolutions with a Z.com. I kept everything pretty simple, and all social media platforms is Business Solutions LLC or Coach K 101, COACHKAY 101.
All right, perfect. We'll have them reach out to you if they have any questions. And I think we
Thank
will,
you.
yep, conclude now. Thank you.
Uh-huh.